So team, in the domain 3, domain 3 is slightly more different. That when you basically go for domain 3, we are mostly talking about what? Domain 3 is basically more talking about the cloud platform and infra security. Okay. Domain 3 is talking more about the cloud platform and infra security. That means what? When I basically go for the see this domain, I want you to basically focus on, we can say, more of a provider perspective. Okay. That means that, see, the underlying infra is basically, and the platform or the underlying infra is basically the responsibility of provider, right? So obviously, this is basically a lot of topics are from the provider perspective. That means that, like, first of all, we will learn about comprehending the cloud infrastructure, like what is a physical infrastructure of the cloud platform, what are the different technologies that they use. So when you're learning this, the first point we have to keep in mind is that regardless of either cloud or on-premises, see, cloud is just a name, but understand that it's another data center only. Okay. When you say cloud, it is not a magical stuff. It is another data center only. Okay. Because the word cloud may feel that it's something which is basically different from what we have in our on-premises, but understand that that's just a thought process. But cloud is just the same thing as what we have in the on-premises. Okay. Cloud is just the same thing as we have in the on-premises. Okay. The only difference is that if I go to cloud, there's a third party who is providing us with the things. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is that when I basically go to the cloud platform, there are multiple things like compute, virtualization, storage, and all. So for most important thing when talking about network and communication, the most important thing topic I feel is basically the SDN. Understand that the cloud service provider is able to provide all the capabilities. The cloud service provider is able to provide the customer with all the connectivity and all the capabilities because they use a technology called as SDN, also called as software defined network. Okay. Okay, that's a very important thing. SDN or software defined network. Then the next thing basically is the compute. Compute means what? Compute means we are talking about the CPU capacity and memory capacity, right? So understand that in the cloud platform, the compute capacity is basically given based on the customer requirements. Then the virtualization, again, one of the most important topic as we discussed before. Understand the concept of type 1 and type 2 in detail, because in this particular part, understand the concept of type 1 and type 2 in detail. Okay. Type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor is basically very important for us to understand which one is used in cloud and which one is in the primarily in the enterprise and all. Okay. Then the storage. So team, storage means that what is the underlying storage technologies they use. So basically there you have to just understand the concept. That's all. You don't have to basically go in much detail on that, but understand that we have different types of storage, and which already learned in the domain two. Okay. Then we have a management plane, right? What is a management plane, team? So in the cloud platform, whenever you basically go to a cloud platform, regardless of any cloud, one major challenge every customer have is basically the management plane. The reason I'm saying the word challenge is because, let's say for example, a customer is going to cloud. Okay, a customer is going to cloud platform, and when the customer is going to cloud, one major thing is that there is a management console like AWS management console or Azure management console. There's a console by which the customer accesses the cloud platform. And what happens, team? If there is an attacker who is able to access the cloud management console, that means literally the customer is in trouble, right? So that because protecting the management plane is one of the most important stuff in the cloud platform. Okay. So out of this team, I would say that focus more on management plane, focus on virtualization, then SDN. Okay, this is basically the part which I would recommend you to basically focus on. Then team, the next one is that talk about securing data center. See, understand that this topic may feel very much challenging for many people, because this is not a regular task for many people. So whenever we basically go to a cloud, it can be Amazon, Azure, whatever it is. Whenever we basically go to a cloud, either Amazon, either Azure, whatever it is, team, in the cloud platform we are basically going for, okay, in the cloud platform we are basically going for, uh there is something called as a logic, like logical design and physical design. What is logical design? Logical design talks about how a data center should be designed for the customers. Okay, what are the structure, things we have to keep in mind, like how what kind of customers we are going to support, multi-tenancy, what kind of services we are going to provide based on several factors, how they have to design a data center. And physical design means that we are talking about how it is built physically, how to choose a location, and most important thing, the environment. The most important thing is the environment. Okay, very important. Okay, then review the uptime institute standard. Okay, it's very important, team. Review the uptime institute 4 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. If you want to base, that's a very critical topic which you have to keep in mind. Uptime institute tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. The best resource for learning that is the website. Okay, understand that. Then the environmental design is one major factor when talking about the cloud. The reason I'm saying is because when talking about the environmental design, okay, that is a major factor based on which how we are basically planning the cloud platform. And understand that resilience is a key. Okay, the next part is basically, team, conducting a proper risk assessment in the cloud computing. What are the various possible risks specifically can happen in the cloud, not generically? What are the risks which can specifically happen in the cloud platform, like how do I identify the possible risks and various kind of risk in the cloud computing? If you can understand the simple process, it can be much more better. Okay, then we talk about the various controls we have. Basically, as a customer, you have limited controls. What are the controls the cloud provider have for protecting their data, like how to protect their infrastructure? And team, in the domain 3, I would say that this topic is basically always stand out as a critical topic, which is the BCDR. Understand the entire step process of BCDR, how cloud can basically beneficial for you when talking about the BCPDR, and the various terminologies in the cloud computing, and how to test the BCDR. Like we have different testing, like tabletop, structured walkthrough, full interruption test. Like this, we have several kind of testing types, and it is recommended to basically make sure that we go through the testing, different type of testing of the BCDR. Okay, very important. Fine, team. So any queries in this till now, team? Any queries, anyone in this till now? Just walking through the topics, team. Just in case if you have some queries, you can always ask me. Please, any queries? Anyone? All good? Okay. Now, team, before we go, so further domains we'll go for tomorrow, team. But before that, let's dig into some simple questions today. Okay. I want you to basically answer these questions in the chat box. Don't say the answer. So, team, before you answer this, always keep this in mind. It's not about the size of the question, it's about the concepts. Read the answers first, read the choices first. This is a mandatory approach you have to follow. Read the choices first, then read the entire question. Focus on what they're asking you. Okay, read the choices first, then read the question, and focus on what they're asking you. Okay, which is the following is the first step an organization should take to ensure efficient and more effective monitoring and log management. So, team, if they want to have a proper monitoring and log management, okay, first of all, okay, see, definitely they, if you want to establish policies and all, there is a tricky part in this, team. If they basically want to establish policies and all, okay, first you should know what you have to monitor, right? You got the point, team. If you basically want to do C, definitely that's a very important thing. If you want to establish a policy and procedure and everything, first of all, you should know what you have to monitor, right? From where I'm wondering what I have to monitor, right? Based on that, once you know what you have to monitor and what purpose, then you can make a policy for that, right? Because if even if you want to develop a policy, there should be a reason, right? So the answer is, if you want to basically develop a policy and everything, first of all, you should know what is the what you should basically monitor. If you understand what you basically monitor or what have to be monitored, then based on that you can plan accordingly and put a policy there. You got the point, team, all of you? Answer is A. Second one, team. Okay. John is responsible for sanitizing a set of solid state drives removed from a server in his organization data center. The drive will be reused on different project. Which one of the following sanitation technique would be most effective? So, team, in this question, there's a tricky part. Okay. Now, see, John is using a SSDs. Okay. They are basically using SSDs. He want to make sure that, okay, he want to completely erase every information, every pointers and every information from that particular drive. Okay. And he want to ensure that the drive can be reused. So if I basically go for B, what is the problem? It will be completely erased, but I can't reuse that. If I go for C, what happens? That is only for the magnetic storage. It's not for others. Though SSD is not a magnetic storage. So basically, it's only for a magnetic storage. So it's not possible. Then this is the trickiest part. Shredding literally means what? This is what shredding means. That means B and D is the same thing. So out of these choices, what is possible for us, team? The best way in this perspective is the crypto shredding or cryptographic erasure. In the examination, if you see the word crypto shredding, that's a fine, but shredding is basically different. Okay. Answer is A, which is called as crypto shredding or cryptographic erasure. Fine, team. The next one is means I'll give you one more question, which will give you a clarity. Answers, team. Lem is concerned about the risk that a cloud provider used by his organization will fail. So he is creating a strategy that will combine resources from multiple public cloud providers, with which term best describes the strategy. So question says that, okay, he is creating a strategy. It's a see, that's why it's a management question. He's creating a strategy that will combine from multiple public cloud providers. That means that they are using only multiple public cloud providers. Okay, community means there should be other organization. There's no, it's not there. Obviously, on-premise not there because you're going for a cloud provider, and private also same thing. The answer is multi-cloud. The answer is multi-cloud. First of all, just to have a recap. See, for the examination perspective, team, there are multiple materials we can refer. Okay. Like if you see for CCSP, there is a lot of textbooks available in the market, but I would recommend that stick to the simple ones. Okay, because there is a CCSP, CBK is there, common body of knowledge. Then we have a CCSP for dummies is there. Then we have a CCSP official study guide. Then we have a CCSP all in one. Like this, there are multiple books in the market there. You can refer to any of these things. But what I have found more comprehensive is the first one. And the second one is basically more simplified language. This book is basically having a more simplified language. So either you can go for the first or second one is what I recommend, but it's completely fine. You can go for any of the books. But as far as what I'm feeling is that if you go for CBK, it's good. Otherwise, you go for dummies. Okay, that would basically help you for the exam preparation part. And for that particular books you're referring to, okay, make sure you basically understand the concepts first. And whenever you are reading a point, highlight the highlight the points which whatever you have learned. Like for example, multi-tenancy encryption, like that. Highlight the points you have learned and make a proper note. That's the most important thing, right? Very important. Then, if you want to practice the questions, team, there is something called as a CCSP official practice test. Okay, there's a book called a CCSP official practice test. Third edition is there, which we can always utilize. That's a official one which can help you to practice, that you can purchase from Amazon. This can be good for practice there. And also there is multiple applications like LearnZ app. There is a Pocket Prep. There is a Boson. There's a lot of applications there. And the primary goal of using an application for practicing the questions is the, if you basically go for practicing the questions via these applications, it will help you to manage your time efficiently. Okay, there is a reason, and the reason I'm always talking about is that whenever you basically go for the examination, it helps us to uh, he- uh, you know uh, like manage your time efficient. Like I told you, right, you have to get a 1 minute for one question. So if you want to manage the time efficiently in that purpose, it's better to make sure you do it via these applications. Okay, that's very important.